morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to the Aggie Pridecast. We are back here for another show. We thank you guys for joining us each time. We have been able to have some great stories here about Aggie athletics. We've got another one here today, one of our most successful coaches within the athletics department. It is head coach, women's head basketball coach, Terrell Robinson, and the starting center for the North Carolina A&T Aggies, Jayla Jones-Pack. Welcome, guys.
Hey, what's up, Aggie Nation? Hope everybody is safe. Hey, B, real quick, you better say forward center with Jayla. Don't play her. Don't play her. Hey, look, man, and look real quick. I'm looking at this thing. I got to change my thing to Terrell Robinson, not Ernest. Nobody needs to know my first name. I'm looking at my my little screen. Can y'all see that? I got to change that as soon as I get a chance.
Yeah, I see it. It says Robinson Ernest, actually.
Darn it. But happy to be here. Happy to be here. Hope everybody's doing well.
It's that official school account. It is what it is, Coach.
Right.
The name that goes on the contract is the name that goes on the Zoom account.
Right.
Oh, good. Hey, listen, we're going to start with Jayla Jones-Pack because she's a New Yorker. And this whole Corona thing, that's where the hot spot is. My friend Spencer Turkin is also a New Yorker. So, wanted to talk to you guys. Just kind of what is it like up there, and what has it been like for you since this whole thing started jumping off?
Okay, I can start, since I'm right here. Let me take off my glasses. Oh my gosh. So ever since, Corona started, it was a lot, but it didn't really affect me. So I didn't really know how bad it was until it affected me personally. And then I was like, hold on. This thing is kind of serious and is real. And it just sucks because literally everything's closed. The supermarkets are empty because everyone's taking everything. It just literally sucks. The only good thing that's coming from it is the time I'm spending with my family that I don't get to spend anymore. So that's literally the only good thing that came from it.
Tell us a little bit about, this was your first season in Greensboro. You are a New Yorker, so probably a little bit of a change for you coming down south. Describe the first year or the first couple of years you've had down here in North Carolina.
Believe it or not, at first it was bad, my redshirt year, because that was my first year away from them. But when the season started, it actually wasn't that bad because since the season was here, my mind was focused on the season, so I wasn't really dwelling on missing my family as much as I was on my redshirt year. But my family, they came more than once, so it was good to see them when I did. And then when we went up north, when we played UMS, my mom and my family came. I think it was Coppin State too. So I was able to see them, not as much, but when I did see them, I was happy. So yeah.
Jayla, Tyrone Lyons from the men's team is someone that you know from back home. What is it like to have someone that you knew before coming to A&T on campus already?
It's a really good feeling because I love that kid so much. That's literally my little brother. And yeah, it just makes me feel good to know I have someone from home who understands and who I could trust. So it's really good. And then seeing him be successful and grow into the man he's becoming is beautiful to watch because I've known him since he was this big, literally. So it's really nice.
Jayla, if you say literally one more time.
Hello.
Coach, man, without you showing your face right now, it makes it 20 times better.
Let me rock, Coach Rob.
Coach, how has it been for you trying to stay in touch with your players and making sure that them and their families are all safe and sound right now and attending A&T Zoom University campus?
Well, as far as keeping up with the players, that's easy. I mean, ain't nobody doing nothing if they're following, the government and state orders. So this morning with Jayla, I text her. She took forever to text me back, but it was because she was in class. But yeah, we speak weekly. As far as checking in on young women, we do a lot of Zoom film, right now, and we do it individually as a team, and I use that as opportunity to just kind of catch up. They have academic Zooms with the rest of the staff. This is every day is new. This is unprecedented, as far as, my lifetime. And I'm just trying to, as everybody else, trying to do our part and trying to, get through this and be resourceful. It's possible to try to, navigate through these hard times. I am fortunate that I don't know anyone per se who has been impacted in terms of death with this pandemic. But to those who have experienced that, my heart goes out to them, and I'm just praying that we get through it. But as far as Lady Aggie basketball, everything is intact. With our returners, with the young women that have left the program, and obviously with the young women that are coming in, in the future.
I was talking a little bit about, you mentioned the young people that are coming in the future. You've got 9 new players that are going to be on the roster next season, along with Jayla Jones-Pack and some of the returnees. Talk about what your strategy was as you stepped into the recruiting circle, knowing that you're going to have to replace a lot of young ladies that were successful for you in the past.
Absolutely. We did this 4 years ago. We brought in, 8. I think this was actually 8 freshmen back when, this senior class is leaving, left. And we were, confident as we are with this class that's coming in, even though we have 2 transfers, that they are talented enough and willing enough to step up in terms of the standards and expectation of this program. And then the other thing is the confidence in our leadership, having, 6 young women returning, Jayla Jones-Pack obviously being a primary one that we expect to come in next year as a leader and a contributor. Deja Winters and, Jasmine Walton, who, played productive minutes, last year. We expect them to step up as leaders. And then, you combine that with the combination of young women that we're bringing in who are winners in themselves as far as high school and AAU. We think it's a perfect fit. And, and obviously it looks good on paper. There's a lot of work, behind the scenes that needs to be done. But the anticipation, of this group is exciting, for me as a coach, refreshing to, have to, again, start over, especially based on, how we finished this past season. I'm excited about, hopefully finding a way to get back to the top of our conference.
What does it mean to you that you've been able to sustain a level of success at your alma mater for all these years now, numerous 20-win seasons, closing in on an all-time coaching record? What does that mean to you that you've been able to do that at North Carolina A&T?
It means everything. I am who I am. I'm able to, take care of my family, and I'm able to represent, something that I believe in, because I went through it. I went through the trenches as a student athlete here. You know what I'm saying? I built some amazing relationships, and there's a personal, touch when you're talking about making a phone call and trying to convince a young lady that this university, in our situation is good enough. It comes from the heart. It's genuine. In terms of success, man, I think, it's just what Aggies do. You know what I'm saying? We step into the fold, take on challenges, and take on all challengers. And at the end of the day, we rise to the top. I'm not, I don't take, credit for the success we've had. I think we have a fantastic chancellor and AD, in place. And that is why when people talk about, job opportunities and so on and so forth, there's no place I'd rather be where you have the leadership that gets it. Because every situation isn't like that. And I don't really think our young women truly understand that. I mean, they joined this because of the atmosphere and the things that we put together to sell. But the selling point, is our chancellor, Dr. Harold Martin, and obviously our AD, Earl Hilton.
Jayla, what was it like, and what was the decision for you and Deja to both transfer from Seton Hall to come down to A&T together?
Well, Deja will have to answer that for her, but for me, it was easy. I spoke to Coach Rob. I went on my visits there, and he knows this. Everyone knows this. I say it all the time. It was literally, sorry, Coach Rob. It was like hugging my long lost uncle, and I looked at him as an uncle ever since. Literally, that's a moment for literally Coach Rob. And the atmosphere for A&T in general was family, and that's something like I always need because from being away from my family, I need a second family. So that was important. The success, that was important as well. And yeah, it was a no-brainer once I met Coach Rob.
Coach, a lot of people talk about the atmosphere in Club Corbett. I don't think that they realize how good the support is that your program gets from fans and the amount of people that show up to your games. Are you always shocked and I don't even know if shocked is the right word, but are you surprised at how much fan support your program gets compared to even some of the Power Fives when you go there and they have less people in the stands than you guys do?
Yeah, now my experience of my time, at VCU, taught me a lot, and that is one of the biggest things, and that's one of the things that I talk about in recruiting, with having the support. One, to answer your first question, no, we put out a pretty good product, so we expect people to be there and come see it, but in terms of the dynamics of the student body, you know what I'm saying? Again, our administration, you know what I'm saying? Aggie Nation, there's an expectation of attendance to the games, you know what I'm saying? Both men and women. And I think that's what created, Club Corbett, which I wasn't a fan of initially when that was the thing. I'm like, I don't want to, call our gym a club, but that thing be rocking, man. I can't even deny it.
If you can't beat them, join them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I can't even knock, man. But yeah, it is different, and that is things that I talk to young women about during the process. Actually having that support, and not having just a few people in the stands, but having thousands come and support you and watch you do your thing. I mean that's what creates that energy, and that's why us and the men don't lose a lot at home.
Jayla, I wanted to ask you.
I
Go
want
ahead,
to say
Coach.
one thing about Jayla, though, in terms of her process. Jayla is very family oriented, and I'm gonna use her word literally. Our first conversation on the phone, it was like done. It was done. Like we talked for close to an hour, and it was like long lost relatives.
Yeah.
And like she said, when she got off the plane, we hugged it out. And the whole time she's saying she's coming, but you never know until you actually know. Because, this kid, comes highly regarded, you know what I'm saying? And we knew that there were a lot of people recruiting her. But when she says she's about family, she's about family. And I'm so thankful, even right now, with, as tough times it is with this coronavirus, that she's getting an opportunity to spend time with her family, because they are her rock.
Thanks, Coach Rob.
You're welcome.
Jayla, what does leadership mean to you? I know it comes in many different forms, and certainly as a senior this coming season, you'll be asked to leadership, and you seem like you'll be a fun leader. So talk a little bit about what leadership means to you, because I figure during the course of a season, at some point you got to keep it light, right?
Yes, leadership. That's a great question that you asked. I think leadership just means just setting the example for everyone else. Be the first one in the gym, be the last one in the gym. And outside of basketball, just do things that you wouldn't want the younger kids to do. For example, staying out late, knowing we have practice 4:00 in the morning the next day. You won't see me doing that. And I will encourage them not to do that. But at the end of the day, we're our own people, but just showing them the right way to do stuff. And the success will speak for itself, to be honest.
How hungry will this team be coming into 2021? It's had so much success in the past in the MEAC tournament, not the last couple of years. How hungry will you guys be coming into this season? There's always going to be a bullseye on your back because you've been so successful, but how hungry are you guys coming into this upcoming season?
Well, I know for myself personally, we lost our great singers, so we have a big role to fill. And I know us returners we get into it. As soon as we get back, we get into it. And hopefully, and we know our the people that Coach Rob brought in is going to match our energy, and we all going to be on the same page. And we go, like Coach Rob said, we're going to get back to the top like we were before. And that's that on that.
How tough was it to lose Cece in the middle of the season? I mean, preseason player of the year, and then to have to try and figure things out.
Is that for me or Coach Rob?
Yeah, for you.
Okay. It definitely affected us because Sequoia, not only was she able to put the ball in the basket, but she's also do other things like get out in transition, play defense when we needed her to play defense. She did a lot of stuff for us, and to lose her, it hurt us, but we know other people need to step up in her place. So we was able to do as much as we can, but it definitely hurt us, and definitely praying for her recovery right now.
Coach, how much changes for you going into the Big South in 21-22? How much changes for you in terms of recruiting and how you approach things? Does anything change at all?
No. I feel like our program is one of the top mid-majors, in the country, based on our level of success during our time here. So transitioning to another league doesn't make us feel like we got to amp up anything that we're doing. We just got to keep doing it and be held, and hold ourselves accountable, to a higher standard to, continue to reach those goals. I got a tremendous amount of respect for, the Big South and the coaches that I have many relationships with. It's an exciting challenge. It's something that I'm excited about, and I anticipate, us going in there, competing, for a championship. So, yeah, it's exciting, and it's also exciting to get to finish the year, one more year, in the MEAC, which is, a great league in itself and with great coaches. Obviously, we want to leave as champions, and leave our mark before we transition to another league.
Coach, how excited are you to get the rivalry back with Hampton? I know that those matchups were always fierce between you and Coach Six.
I'm not excited about that. I did not win. I've never won a regular season game against David Six. All our wins was actually during the tournament.
Those are the
I'm
ones
not
that
excited.
count the most.
Yeah, I guess, man. But those aren't the ones that, they lead us. Coach Six is a great coach. But to answer your question, excited about the challenge. And I think our fans, as far as basketball fans, are gonna really enjoy it as well. Yeah, I'm definitely excited about that.
How excited are you about having Jayla Jones-Pack back in the middle, and what did you see out of her during her first season?
Man, so much potential. I'm excited about, Bands is what I call Jayla. And she, I tell her all the time, and she hears this, that she has the talent to be the best player in our league. What can't she do? She can handle it. She can shoot it from afar. She can play with her back to the basket. She can face up, and she happens to also be, a really good passer. The things that I'm challenging her, to do going into next year is being an example as a leader, being consistent, and I think that she's ready for that challenge. She's by far the most talented post player I've ever had, the pleasure of coaching, based on her skill set. I'm just hoping that she's ready to fill those shoes, next year. That's my girl. Bands know I love her. I stay in her butt, but our relationship off the court is family.
Well, that's pretty high praise, Jayla. I mean, we've had some pretty good post players. I'm thinking of it as he was saying it, Lamona Smalley and Ebony Ross, and some of those
April
guys.
McCray.
I mean, that's high
April
praise.
McCray. Yeah. And tough shoes to fill, but she's definitely capable of doing it.
Thanks, Coach Rob.
Look at those teeth. She just smiling.
Coach, man, I think everybody wants to know what's hiding behind that A&T logo. Is there like a coronavirus beard or what's going on?
A werewolf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. It
so
is.
You're ready for Kevin to take your new portrait for the website? Is what you're telling me?
Not at all, man. Not at all. My hairline is a mess. My beard line is a mess. Like I said, I don't have my dark and lovely. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gray in all areas that I just don't want people to know about. Um, I'm not ready to show the world this. When they see me, I'm gonna be ready.
Coach, what was your thoughts coming in as a young coach when you took over the program? And what are some of the things that you've learned during your time here at A&T? What is the difference between you coming in as a young 33, 34 years old and where you are now?
Man, it's a good question. Well, you know, when I first came in, I had a chip on my shoulder because I knew that I was replacing a legend, and you know, and obviously I worked with Coach Bibbs and understood, you know, her mentality, and had to, you know, come in and actually make sure that I had the same mentality and that we had the same results. And it's still, you know, a challenge trying to fill those shoes. But as I got more confident and comfortable in myself and obviously, you know, the wins and the level of success, you know, I became at ease and felt like that I belonged. It's absolutely about the players and obviously having a coaching staff that's willing to work hard for you. And I just go about my business as far as being the right person, you know, being genuine, you know, being compassionate about, you know, young people, and they seem to want to come and be a part of this. And then just from there, just getting them to think outside of themselves. And we always talk about being selfless, you know, as teammates, you know, and that is bigger than us, trying to instill that in them. You know, I'm much more reserved. I thought I was like Jay Lee probably think I was crazy. You know, I was crazy my first few years. I was, you know, but now I'm more reserved and just more have a better temperament about, you know, allowing people to grow into who they want to be, being a little bit more patient.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you crazy. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that is the 8 years ago, you know, me to now. And it's been a fun ride, you know, and every year, you know, our standards are championships, you know. So even though we were 19-10, you know, it looks like a good record, and we got off to a great non-conference, we still know we didn't fulfill what we all came together for.
Jayla, describe Uncle Coach Rob over there.
Mm-hmm.
um, describe him. Ooh, that's a great question.
Mm.
Well, like he said, he gets on me a lot, but I know at the end of the day, it comes from a good place because he knows what I'm capable of, and he loves me. And yeah, he's become very patient because before, no, not really. If no, he didn't have great patience, you know. But he's worked on himself, and he's more calm, patient. He, like he said, he lets us mess up and fix it on our own before, you know, the consequences come in, which I'm greatly appreciative for. Oh my gosh. He's just a great guy at the end of the day. And yeah, I love him. That's
Coach,
my dog.
Coach, you just heard Jayla talk about patience. Your demeanor on the bench and the way that you've coached the last few years has caught the attention of some people. When did you decide to pick up that style where you're mostly sitting for the game and you're just letting things play out as they happen in front of you instead of being like a lot of coaches pacing up and down the sideline?
Well, you know, I constantly have to like give an answer to this, and I know a lot of people try to say, you know, whatever, but the bottom line, man, like I think I said this before, 6'6", 250 in my dreams. um I'm a big guy, man, and I can. Chantel Bostic is someone I'm gonna use as an example. When my 4 years ago, the last time I did a lot of standing, and I was taking Telly out, and I was riding her from the moment she subbed out, and I'm standing up to the moment she sat down, and she just break down crying. You know what I'm saying? Now, difference, Telly would always respond, and but later on that season, I had a parent that told me that I was intimidating, and that my players were afraid of me. And I'm like, well, you can't play for anybody being afraid of them, And so I wanted to try to make the adjustment. Like I cut up in practice. Jayla will attest to that. Practice is practice. The demand is a demand. But come game time, I want to operate in a way that I trust them. And it's not really a thing of, because people may say they don't see me saying anything and they see me being emotionless, but the players, Jayla, what would you say? Would you say that, Jay? Not at all. 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 But hindsight 2020, man. I just choose to sit. I trust them. We trust what we teach, our principles. You know what I'm saying, and our game plan. And it's been pretty good. 5 championships in 8 years. A lot of wins. We average 20 wins a season. I'll let the critics stay critics until they're on the sideline doing what I do. It doesn't really matter.
Period.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Literally.
Coach, you mentioned the 19 wins. Included in that was a win over Power 5 school, Clemson, the Tigers. Another top finish in the MEAC. But as you evaluate this past season, what did you learn as you head into next season?
And the players will tell you this, my staff will tell you this, like it always starts, the finger in terms of accountability starts with me. I think one of the things that I'm going to fix about me next year, which Jayla may not like, is I'm going to be patient with things, but not in terms of our standards and our expectations. And I think I allowed a lot of things to kind of go unchallenged because of the experience we had and the success we had. And the thing that I've learned as a head coach now is don't ever assume that they know why you win and why you win championships. Always show them. And that is going to be the approach, that I take. And whether young women are happy with that or not, I now know that that is the only way that we can consistently put ourselves in position to win a championship. Outside of that, I'm just excited about, the group that's coming in and, winning against Clemson, winning against VCU, playing very well against a really good Miami team. Like, for me, it just confirms that we got it figured out in terms of how to win outside of our conference, and the things that we're doing and the type of young women that we're recruiting are getting us closer to be put in a position to advance in the NCAAs. Like, that is our goal. We won championships. We gone undefeated. We made it to the NCAAs. We played well in the first round. Our goal is to advance, and that is not going to change as far as our standards, as far as the next phase for our women's basketball program.
Coach, you've had Power Fives come to the Corbett Sports Center before to play you. Should fans expect or potentially see a Power 5 opponent in the upcoming season coming to Greensboro?
Absolutely. Actually, without getting into scheduling, yeah, it's going to be really surprising. One particular school that's coming, I think the contracts were signed. Yeah, that'll be coming to to Corbett. Yeah, and that is the reputation of our program in terms of helping with your RPI as you move on, because there's a chance that we could win our league, we could represent our conference in the NCAA tournament. So we're getting those types of schools that want to play us. And now on the flip side, we also getting those type of schools that don't want to play us. After the Clemson win, and obviously the way we played in non-conference, it's really made scheduling for us pretty tough for those mid-major schools and some Power 5 schools. So, but regardless, we'll play whomever, anywhere. Again, this past season and the past history of our program, gives us confidence that we can go in and compete against anyone.
All right, Jay, let's have a little fun here. We're going to play a little start 'em, bench 'em, or cut 'em.
Uh-oh.
All right, so it'll give you 3 players here. Either start 'em, bench 'em, or cut 'em. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant.
God dang.
Be careful. Be
my
careful.
Ooh, and especially after watching The Last Dance. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's the hardest question I've been asked in a long, long time. Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna get in trouble with this. Mom.
Tell Kim I said what up.
Here you go. Since Kobe resembles Michael, I'm gonna say start Michael.
Start Michael.
Bench Kobe, cut LeBron. Oh, that was tough. Ooh, that was tough. Ask Coach Rob.
Man, well, we know Mike, you know, Mike and Kobe, man. I love LeBron, but I'm MJ and the Mamba. So LeBron got to get cut.
Yes, sir.
I'm about it. I agree.
Thank you.
I'm going
to
have a little fun with Coach here. Start 'em, bench 'em, or cut 'em. J.J. Miller, Bruce Jenkins, Jonathan Richmond.
Oh, my goodness. Man. You know what? That's easy, though. That is easy. That's easy for me. So I am going to – Jonathan Richmond is my roommate, my freshman year. That is my guy. I was just actually texting him yesterday. So I got to start Jonathan.
Oh.
I'm going to bench JJ because JJ
wow.
came off the bench when John played anyways. And me and Bruce played the same position, so his butt got to go. And I almost crashed. That was easy. Shout out to Bruce Jenkins.
All right, this was for Jayla.
Bruce was my roommate too.
This is for Jayla. Cast him, supporting role, or cut him off the film. Idris Elba, Michael B. Jordan, Denzel Washington.
Wait. Say the roster.
Easy already.
Michael B. Jordan, Idris Elba, and Denzel Washington.
Okay, Denzel, he could go because he's too old anyway. So he could go. He's old too, but he's handsome. So he can stay around, but I'm gonna start Michael B. Oh my god. I'm gonna stop right there.
All right,
please
thank
stop.
you. We appreciate that. a little this or that for Coach. Best African fictional nation, Zamunda or Wakanda?
Zamunda.
Ooh, I was gonna say that.
Let's cook out food, ribs or steaks?
Ribs.
Steak.
Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix. I hate Hulu.
Really?
Yeah.
But I'll say Netflix too.
Zoom or an in-person meeting?
In person.
Right now? Or just in general?
In general.
In person.
For Coach Rob, with the game on the line as a coach, who are you putting in for the last shot? Stephen Rush or Brittany Taylor-James?
BTJ, man. Are you serious? Hold on.
And last one for Coach, Jay-Z or Tupac?
Nah, that's easy. I'm with Hov.
Okay. All right.
All day.
Huge disagreement here, but we only got 2 minutes left in the show.
She'll say the same thing.
Say what now?
She'll say the same thing. Right, Vance? Hold on. New York?
I would have said too much.
Oh, okay. Excuse me.
I got a little New York in them. I I want to thank Jayla Jones-Pack for joining us, along with head women's basketball coach Terrell Robinson. As always, my co-host, who's the greatest, Spencer Turkin. We'll join you guys again the next time, and stay safe. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.